people.
Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, isn't it? It's going to be a little weird today because it's going to feel like Monday because we didn't do a show yesterday.
I know. Yeah, I was thrown. I have to, Naz. You text me and said you missed me.
I did. I did miss you,
and I missed you too.
It was weird not seeing each other, wasn't it?
It was very odd, for sure, not coming here. And yeah, it's party time. Hi, Jim. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Live from Rabs, episode 64.
64.
Day 71 of the quarantine. And here we are inside Rabs Country Lanes. A few more people than Sunday.
Yeah, actually, when I pulled in the lot earlier, well, I was here very early. I was here at like 9, and then I got back at about 10:30 or so, 11, and it was like cars in the parking lot. I panicked a little bit.
It was like a regular Tuesday.
It wasn't like, no, because on a regular Tuesday at that time, you wouldn't be able to find a spot. But yeah, there were cars here, and the senior men were doing their little thing there. I think some of them may have not given anybody any ideas, but they may have been tailgating.
Like alcohol tailgating?
I saw some red Solo cups out there.
I have to say I'm a little disappointed. And Jim, you're watching. That Vinny was supposed to let me know what day you guys were going to meet up.
So
because I would have planned to be here this morning. I would have liked to see faces. And he originally they were going to do it last Friday, whatever it was, and then he finally set up, and I had no clue. But it was nice because they wanted to distribute. They had cash prizes to distribute. Right. So those don't go in the mail, and they wanted to get them to the guys. And I don't know who wound up coming today, but they had a
nice little group out there.
But they were tailgating.
Yeah, I saw that somebody. I'm not going to leave names out to protect the innocent, and they may have had the back of the car open, and they were sitting down drinking out of red Solo cups.
Good for them. Good for them.
And,
Dennis, I did not get the email. I'm not on your email chain for some reason, but that's all right. I would have just liked to see faces today, so it's okay. And
it's nice to see faces. I saw them from a distance. I just waved. Ray did put on his mask and go out and spend some time with them.
He put on his mask and did that.
Yeah. Well, I had to tell him put the mask on. He was very excited to see everybody.
I'm sure.
So he wanted to just go out and say hello and do his usual thing. So yeah. So
and we missed you all too. Mike Cannington says he missed us both. He's a fan of Naz's. We might have to send Mike an autographed photo for his office, and next time
that would be
he
scary.
comes on,
he can use it for a dartboard.
No, my photo he'd use for a dartboard. Hey, we had a question here, and I want to, and by all means, ask away. You're certainly welcome to. Any hint if the governor will lift the ban soon, and certainly what will become the plans for Rabs for social distancing. And so thanks, Will. Something we talk about on a regular basis here.
Absolutely.
There are no plans to move us out of phase 4 at this point. Yeah. From our understanding, our trade association is active, and we've sent letters to the governor's office and asking them to reconsider the phases in which we open. I mean, what if that does anything? Wonderful. If not, okay. But at least 300 plus bowling centers strong, that making a statement. Yeah. Hey, we're prepared to open, and these are the ways how we're going to open.
Right.
For us initially, we're probably going to be using every other pair, every other lane.
Well, I did get I got a message from Pellegrino. We spoke a little bit after his performance on Sunday, and he did mention to me that he forgot to say that they have them on 50% occupancy and every other pair.
Right.
So yes,
but the restrictions though aren't, at least at this point in time, none of them are. There's no regulation, so to speak. Requirements currently for businesses, face masks for employees, and proper signage. And I mean, we're looking at what we need to do here. We've got hand sanitizer. We've added some more. We showed a photo of the front doors. We've added the pieces so you can open the door with your foot. Kind of eliminate some of the hand touch points. But for us, it's going to be more about, hey, having some common sense, but us reminding people where to be and where not to be, and no high-fiving.
Right. I think and I saw something this weekend, and I believe that part of the holdup is the requirement. Well, because what they're asking people for the businesses that are open now is to wear a mask when you're there.
Right.
So in our case, that's really not. I don't know how.
If let's say we're using every other pair, every other pair in every other lane, I'm not on top of you. There's enough space in between to consider not wearing a mask while you're bowling.
Right.
If we were at full capacity and running the whole bowling center 48 lane straight course,
but I think that's
and you're bowling with people not in your family, then
right. But I think that's part of the, because for us to open, it would be with no masks.
At full capacity.
No, I think even at half capacity, even if it's half, even if it's every other lane, are you going to bowl? Who's going to bowl with a mask on?
No, and even from the people that have shared, like last week, Mike and Mandy were saying,
people are not.
They're not bowling with masks,
and I don't think that's expected. And even it came up because I was reading something about gyms reopening, and they said that people are not. They're not going to exercise with masks on. Really, I mean, really, how?
Well, it adds another sweat element too.
And so I just think that I think that that's part of the consideration, and maybe part of us being further down the line.
Yeah.
It's going to be more commingling of people with without the masks. And I will tell you, I had a very anxious weekend. I had a lot of I have like some anxiety issues, and yesterday I couldn't be with my family, so it was upsetting to me. And but
I had anxiety being with my family.
Well, there you go. There's me and you. You did say that to me. You did say that to me. But just to see so many people in gatherings with no masks on. I don't know. It disturbs me that I want people to be responsible. I want to get back too. We all want to get back, but let's do this responsibly. That's all. I don't want to have to go through another.
Well, no,
terrible.
And at the same point, the argument, and we're going to see a lot of it this week. I mean, the tanning salon that's opening here on Staten Island, the restaurants are going to start banding together to say, hey, we need to be open. They
had that whole thing with Staten Island wanted to be separate.
Oh, and of course, the governor called us out yesterday.
Yes.
Our elected officials sent a letter to the governor saying, hey, things look good in Staten Island.
Right.
Would you consider breaking the county apart from everyone else? And he just basically said, absolutely not.
No, well, actually, it was funny
smug
because
about it too.
What he said, right? I tried not to sense that, but I did. He said something about, I know Staten Island's not their mentality, but in insinuating, I know the way Staten Island thinks, that we feel like we're separate, maybe because we're treated like stepchildren. But he did have one legitimate point about people traveling into Manhattan. But on the other hand, those are the same people that are traveling now.
Right. If they're working, right.
Manhattan is not open yet.
No.
So if Manhattan is not open, there's not going to be additional people traveling than we already have.
Right. And
so
the issue that we're going to have, we talked about this last week with Jimmy Otto when he was on. Jersey's going to be opening, and so now we have the fastest route to New Jersey, 3 bridges, and we could just easily go right over the bridge and go enjoy it. Now, I do believe many people will take the opportunity to go and enjoy a restaurant in New Jersey because they can. I don't think they're actually going to be able to because there might be too many people looking to go.
Right, Jersey
people here are
right.
Their own residents are going to go.
Right.
So now I believe New Yorkers, specifically Staten Islanders, might pick up and say, I'm going out. I need to get out.
And so no, that's
what message is
an
that
additional right. That's an additional hardship for Staten Island businesses because it's not only restaurants, it's everything. Well, we're going to go to Jersey because Jersey is open, and Staten Island businesses are looking at, well, that's costing me now.
Right
now, it's costing me more. So yeah, this is tough.
We're getting to the
time.
We're getting to the point where everybody's chomping at the bit.
And it's a difficult time, and that's why I asked Jimmy Otto last week about leading at a time like this because. There are so many different moving parts that you have to be a strong leader. You have to really consider a lot of different things. So this is a difficult time.
The way I've been bowling, I should wear a mask. Many of us could say that, especially now. Bowling centers in New Jersey won't get to open before restaurants. It'll be the restaurants first, and then bowling centers. I think they're somewhat in the same phases. I think they're in the same phase. Talking with my brother Anthony, we were working for the township of Woodbridge, and the Avenel Performing Arts Center. They're ready for July opening. Now, of course, it's going to be you buy 5 tickets. Same thing we talked about with the Staten Island Yankees. They're looking at every other seat, and in a small theater. They could do it very well, and we've been there.
Right.
You alternate seats, and however it goes, and how long they can do that.
Right.
And they have outdoor seating, so they're planning for that July opening at this point. So we'll see. Atlantic City's talking about June 15th.
Wow, that's right around the corner.
They originally were saying reservations for June 1st. That's perfect. Thanks, Liz. June 1st. And then they pushed June 15th, but they're planning to start taking reservations. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to open, we'll see effectively based on what happens. I mean, I watched some silly stuff on the news this morning. People at the Jersey Shore were good. You see the Ozarks?
That is crazy.
They had a pool.
It
beyond
was
pool party.
Right. Well, the Ozarks normally get crazy around spring break and around the end of school, and but that was you know what it is. I think it feels exaggerated because they shouldn't be, so it seems so much worse. But yeah, they
that wasn't. I want to talk about exaggeration. I don't even know if you could exaggerate what I saw.
They were like on top of each other. It was a lot.
Yeah, in conversation this morning, my mother goes, "Did you see that? You can't even see the ground." I'm like, "Come on."
Yeah, no, they're packed in.
Yeah, and that's not good. Yeah, that's when we wind up with all of these problems.
Yeah. And listen, I know there's people that they're ready. There's a lot of people that feel like, let's go back to work already, and some people feel this is a whole conspiracy thing, and
but we're not going down that road.
Yeah, listen, this is real, and let's just be responsible people.
Well,
wash your hands, wear your mask.
Well, we know there are lots of Dennis. Yes, there are lots of silly stuff on the news. By all means,
news is a silly.
And you have to be able to take in and out. You have to be able to break that up and take what you consume.
Correct.
And we've talked about that a lot. My niece works for a hotel in Virginia. They will be opening up June 20th. Yeah, and that's good to hear. So if that June 15th is that marker in this region out around New York City, that's gonna have to push Cuomo. Even de Blasio was saying even further out. I mean, then they had their spat again.
Right.
So hopefully he did assure us. We talked about this the other day too. He did assure us that
he was going to gauge it. Right.
The phases don't have to be every 14 days. So by the time we get to phase 4, we might be 6 weeks versus 8 weeks.
Right.
So. We'll see where that takes us.
Yeah.
That crystal ball, we want people to be healthy. I'm glad to hear there are no new cases here.
Yeah.
I think there was one this week they reported on Staten Island.
I have not been watching the news.
CSI, I'm going to drop the link in here. When I'm going to share it. It is interesting. CSI created a platform, a website with all the numbers for Staten Island alone, and you can see the trends. Working with the hospitals, but I believe the last I checked, they may have been one new case, which that's promising alone.
Yeah, so that's great.
There were no new cases.
That's good news
So
to have.
we're hoping sooner rather than later, but that's why when we were looking at the bowling season, hey, we've got to make a decision today because we don't know what that's going to look like.
We actually still don't know.
We can Monday night quarterback, and let's say they tell us we can open next week.
Right.
I mean, we didn't know, so we had to get somewhere, and hopefully some finality comes to that, and we'll work together for the new season, and we'll get a little bit of a summer season.
Yeah.
Our youth bowlers, their season was just ending. They had a week or two left, and we need to celebrate them and recognize them accordingly, which we plan to. But we haven't really rolled out any plans because we don't know what that looks like.
Yeah. We keep hoping that we'll be able to do some sort of celebration, whether it's
maybe it's in the parking lot.
Right. We don't know. But we still would like to recognize them. We don't want to be in a situation where we're, mailing out scholarship checks or doing something silly where we don't really get to recognize them for the season that they had. So.
And we had a tremendous season. So we rescheduled the dinners, which we talked about in August. Yeah. We'll recognize their accomplishments. And so as far as our kids go, we want to give them their due, and they'll get their due. Yeah. Scholarship money and all.
Yeah.
Naz, how was, we took a break yesterday. We said we missed each other, and I did miss you. Yeah. How was your weekend as a whole? Did you get to enjoy a little bit?
I took a ride to see Naz, my daughter Nazareth.
Oh, you finally dropped off to her seltzer?
We dropped off her seltzer. We spent a few minutes out on her deck. I'm not saying it made it worse, but really made me feel disconnected from my kids.
Because you're not doing the regular thing.
And that's very sad to me. So that was my weekend. That's all I have to say. That's really. I cleaned, and
And you're a little anxious.
Yeah. I've got some anxieties brewing up. Well, I keep tamping it down.
You didn't put the diffuser on today, so that could certainly help.
Well, we definitely need it, so it will be on tomorrow. So, what did you do this weekend?
I did nothing. I mean, the good thing. We were here Friday. We were talking about the crappy weather,
right?
And we're hoping that we would have had beautiful weather so we could take advantage of it, because this is the time too. Normally, we'd pray for the bad weather. But yesterday was another one of those silly days.
Yeah.
3:30 came around, and the
sun came out.
Beautiful.
Yep. So
I sat outside. I got up. I did some things in the yard, cleaning, put some things away. I sat in the yard. I did some work on the patio. Nice. Sun came out. I didn't go in the pool. I went by the pool, sat there. And that was when my anxiety started to kick in. Because all of a sudden, the others in the house decided to join me. I was planning on getting away from them.
Quiet.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting there. I have my extension cords to hook up my laptop. I've been doing my Zoom calls outside because it's been nice.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting there, and I poured myself a hard seltzer, which I finally got to enjoy over ice.
I saw you sent me a picture.
Thank you, Kevin. That was exactly when the anxiety kicked. Thank you, Kevin Rourke, for making a little drop at the house. Kevin went to Ralph's. I didn't go to Ralph's the other day as I planned.
Right.
Because when I saw the line, I said, no.
Yeah, not everybody had the same idea.
So Nicole dropped off a package. It had watermelon and lemon ice.
Oh, that's what I took to Naz's house too.
So I took the lemon ice, took 2 scoops in a glass, poured the whole can right over it. It was
delicious,
and so much better. And even
I'm gonna have to try that.
It didn't even make it that because lemon
didn't make it that much sweeter.
No, that was my concern. Too much sugar, too much. It was really good. I mean, you can't do it if you do it with less. Then obviously you just got your ratio.
Right.
Of ice to seltzer. But it was really good. And what I learned in all of that, the guys at Flagship talked about them fine-tuning that recipe for that reason.
I'm sure they're going to tweak it. Yeah.
And so so Matt said that I had said, I need a little bit more ice flavor, but wanted to try it.
Right.
And he says they're going to tweak the next batch. They're tweaking the recipe as they go along.
Oh, good.
To get to the perfect.
What they want. Yeah, that's going to be a difficult thing. I mean, it's not. And I'm sure each batch has its own kind of maybe little personality. So,
well, beer and wine are the same thing, especially with wine as it ages.
Right.
So if you're wondering and you had that seltzers and maybe you didn't like it, for the flavor, know that there's
try it again.
try to get
another shot.
the next batch at some point. And I'm sure they'll still talk about how they're enhancing or changing their, and maybe they get that point and they decide not to.
This is it, right?
And you won't know. The problem is you don't know until it's done. So you've made all of this. What are you going to waste it? No,
right. You still got to sell it. Well, I guess to their on the good side of things, sold out very quickly.
Speaking of Tina, how many cans do we have left?
Is she behind us?
We have 8 cans. We have a studio audience today.
Right.
Tina's enjoying listening to us. So we have 8. So Tina's got 8 cans left that we could sell with pizza and Zeppelis or whatever you want to order. So we've had a bunch of cases and they're just about gone, which is great. Anyway, it's hard to find. So you weren't able to get it. So we got some and we're going to place an order for some more and hopefully you enjoy it. But if you want them, you could still get yours delivered to your house. Tina and Marco Gennaro's is here Tuesday
making
through Saturday.
Those pies and Zeppelis and
if you
rolls
and if you didn't watch our show this past Friday, Marco and Arturo Naz been on assignment to the pizzeria and a little behind the scenes.
Pardon the camera work. My phone wasn't working right.
It's okay. We got the listen. We saw behind the scenes of making Zeppelis up close. We made pizza. You guys made pizza, buffalo chicken pizza, margarita pizza.
Yeah, that was tempting. I'm actually
and garlic knots.
Tempted to kind of try that myself. This one day this week, I'm gonna try making some. I'm gonna try to make it a pizza. Making a pizza. The
most difficult part is keeping the dough cool and keeping it away from everything because otherwise it then sticks to the spatula, whatever you're using to then move it to the oven or the pan. So if you're going to do it in the pan, you still the same thing. You got to keep it
cool,
moist.
Frankie, one of Frankie's favorite words.
Oh, so we have this pizza oven, the stone thing. I think we talked about
right, the one that goes in the grill, right? Is it?
No, that I don't have. We raffled one of those off the golf outing.
Yeah.
No, we have it's a it's a stone in an oven. It opens. I got it for Christmas a couple of years ago, and you stone gets seasoned to use it. The challenge is if you're going to do it on what's the thing called the peel? The peel on the peel. You got to keep it away because otherwise you can't get it off the peel. A lot of flour or whatever you're using, cornstarch. What's the other? Semolina. Otherwise it just sticks to the peel, so you got to move it. But I will tell you, it cooks it perfect, and it closes, so it kind of works like a pizza oven.
Oh, and it's powered on its own?
It's electric.
Oh, isn't that fancy?
It's fancy. I think they were 100. I think we looked it up. Keith Wunderlich was asking about it, and I sent it to him. We found it for $150, maybe $170, and pretty cool.
Nice.
I think it's a Cuisinart. So pizza at home. Otherwise, you just do it in the oven. I mean, we do that all the time.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my first shot.
Homemade pizza. We barbecued the last 2 days, and I'm a little burgered out.
Yeah, I'm a little burgered and hot dogged out too.
I had my first hot dog on Sunday. That was exciting. First hot dog of the season.
I had mine last week, like Friday maybe. I think I barbecued whatever I cooked out last week sometime.
So I was saying, my anxiety kicked up when they decided to join me.
Right, everybody joined you.
I'm like, you guys were not near me. I was enjoying this all by myself. And then we had a couple surprise visitors last night, so we sat out in the patio.
Oh, nice.
We made a lot of noise in the yard, yelling and screaming and laughing.
I'm sure you did.
It was nice to just be around some other people.
Yeah. It is sometimes.
It's just not the same. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Because you're worried about not sitting near each other.
Yeah.
You're not hugging each other like you normally would. And then it's like, oh, just hug me anyway.
There's a disconnection.
I'm over this. You felt that way with the kids, your kids and the grandkids.
Yeah.
Did Nikki want to run?
It's a little. It just feels disconnected. That's all. I'm used to being around my kids, and
is that on your thing? Can you be disconnected?
No, I'm overstimulated.
Oh, what's the definition of overstimulated?
Overstimulated, excessively stimulated, too much external stimuli, overly energized. Sensory
Ray
overload.
says that's him.
sensory overload. Oh, it actually says death by caffeine is one of the things it says.
Oh, because you drink a lot of caffeine.
No, I don't. But he's typed in, so I just thought I would say.
So that. So wait, maybe you're channeling Ray's emotions.
There's definitely.
He's the one that's overstimulated, and you've channeled Ray today.
Okay.
Like as he's holding his cup of coffee and he's drinking his coffee,
He's very
like
happy when he's
like
got
he
his
usually
coffee.
does. And there aren't too many. I mean, if you left it out, Ray, you'd find it because there's nobody else is going to pick
and
it up
nobody's
on
picking
you.
up your cup and throwing it out.
I have to hold on.
I have to say, I've been excited. This is the. I can't. I'm not going every day to Starbucks like I normally do.
Right.
But every couple of days I go. And today I got my first iced cappuccino, and it was just
it's nice out today. It turned
Yeah.
nice out.
I'd like to be outside today. No offense, I love this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like to be outside today.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of back to green tea, I drink green tea at night. Green tea at night works for me.
Yeah.
Green tea or Celestial Seasons. Is that the brand?
Celestial seasonings.
They now make. There's a mandarin orange one.
Yes, it's delicious.
Really, it's they're all white teas.
Actually, Lipton makes a very good one too. That's orange and something else.
But I like the green or their
Tea is very popular right now.
chamomile.
You can get any kind of.
lemon zinger. I like those.
Yeah,
I like the lemon zinger.
they have a lot of nice teas.
So speaking of this, live from Rabs. So episode 64. We're doing this for the past 60. Now we took 3 days off. So
Right.
67 days we've been doing this. And you know what I've noticed this week?
Right. It's only week's only one
We
day.
might
old.
be. I think it's going to become. We're almost the last one standing. Some other live stream shows. Have
Oh,
started to
they're falling
disappear.
by the wayside.
I think they're. I think reality has set in, and they're not interested in doing this anymore. And so we might be the last one standing.
We love doing it, but it's it's a
work.
commitment. Would I rather be sitting next to my pool right now? Probably, yeah. But we're here.
Especially today, it was really. I can't. I'm
You know
looking
what
forward
was
to going
so
home and sitting
weird?
outside again.
Last night was nice. I fell asleep. Downstairs watching TV. Went to go upstairs to bed, and I looked out the window, and I couldn't see past the houses across the street from me. Fog. Because usually I could
But
look
it just
out the
rolled
window.
in. It was in the morning. We had fog. You're talking about last
Well,
night.
this was late last night.
But early in the morning, we had
12
fog.
o'clock or so.
3:30. Last night, yeah, it was like what time? No, like 9.
Well, it might have been earlier than that, but I
Oh
was
yeah,
sleeping.
we were sitting outside, and I looked out, and I'm going. I actually thought it was smoke because the neighbors behind us,
Right, they have a fire pit or whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't smell it.
Right.
And slowly but surely, like 9, 9:30, 10
Yeah.
o'clock. But by the time midnight came, it was bad.
Yeah, and I said, I thought it was supposed to be nice tomorrow, but then I watched the weather, and they said that it's going to be that way for a couple days because it's so humid. Like the overnights, it's going to take a while, a few hours for it to burn off that stuff. But it's nice
gone.
outside.
It's beautiful out there. Speaking of beautiful weather, did you see the stuff? I don't know, the last couple of days, Kelly Ripa?
Oh, that she's in the Caribbean.
She's in the Caribbean.
I didn't know. I just saw the headline of an article, but I don't think
they do their. I haven't watched it, but
yes, they
so
do
I
their
learned
show separate.
They're doing their show separately, and
Yes.
wherever she is, they asked something. She got outed that she's out in the Caribbean.
Listen,
Not
if
at
I was
home.
Kelly Ripa,
Naz, I think we
married
should
to Mark. Right, I'd be in the Caribbean.
I think we need to move live from Rabs, get on a plane.
Let's do it, Frank.
If anybody has a private charter that you know of, I mean, we'll take it.
Can you imagine? I wouldn't even mind doing the show if that was true. We'd go in the hotel for like, I don't know, an hour or so. And then we could get, I'll meet you on the beach. I'll be there in 15
We
minutes.
could do it from the beach.
No, you wouldn't run into people. She's not doing it from the beach. She was doing it from everywhere everybody thought was her house.
But now she's been outed. So let's say we go to now we're talking about it. So let's say we go to the Caribbean. We decide to do this. We're going to get outed. So we might as well just, do it.
I don't know if I would do that. People wouldn't watch. I don't know if I would watch. I'm stuck in my house and I'm watching these two
TikToks?
hacks.
Oh, these two
I'm
hacks.
watching these two hacks on the beach in the Caribbean.
With a straw hats.
Right.
But what happens after like day 2 and we're black? We've got tans.
Well, yeah, that'll be different.
Because I have to say, if I start working on my tan, I can get pretty dark, which I haven't done in a long time. But this might be the summer for that.
It might be. It might be.
All right, so we're not
Anyway.
going to the Caribbean.
So yeah, now listen, I'll go. Somebody fesses up with one. Somebody comes up with one. I'm there.
we know we have friends. There are plenty of friends out there that we could
Ah.
that can help us out.
Yeah, and I was, only especially I was planning we were going to leave on vacation like the 24th of March, and that got trashed, of course. But that's okay. Listen,
I could get on a plane. I had a conversation with someone the other day. I was and invited me to a meeting next month. And the first question was, "You have any reservations about traveling?" I said, "No. I traveled before this. Maybe several weeks ago. Maybe I would have had."
I wouldn't want to get on a plane where every seat was taken.
But they're not.
Then I would have no problem.
They're not doing that.
Then I wouldn't have.
They're not at full capacity anyway. So it's like,
Right.
no, I need to get out of here. Like, I have no problem traveling at this point. I'm telling you, before all this, when this all started, it was the best time to travel.
You said that because you came back. Right.
People were scared people were scared. I almost want to say, I wish people were scared more often about traveling, especially those who travel often. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean to sound that way, but there comes to a point where the airlines also created the environment with all of these people being on top of each other constantly in the airports.
Well, because
listen, I get it. They got a lot of bills. And they're crying the blues right now. And I get it.
95% drop off.
Nobody wants to get on a plane.
I would.
I will now get
if I could be guaranteed that there would be like seats around me, I would get on a plane. Yeah.
You know what the crazy part about this whole thing, all this shit happening around us, as New Yorkers apparently call it. We're now cleaning the subways. We're now cleaning things that we, used to be cleaned. That maybe a budget,
but they never did it the way they're doing it now. I don't know if they're still shutting down the subway at night. But that's what they did the first few days.
But at some point years ago, they used to clean them.
Yeah, I understand.
They stopped cleaning them.
Well, they stopped cleaning them. They're cleaning them now.
And now we're clean. I mean, that's something that needs to stay. I said, if you think about, and listen, I'm all about building your immune system. You need germs, but at the same time, they're disgusting.
Yeah, those polls that people.
A lot of Ronnie mentions Hertz filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, there's a lot of these companies that rely on the travel, car rentals, and so the other crazy part of these stores that are claiming they're closing and file for bankruptcy. I wonder how that's going to shake out.
Right, you're right.
A lot of them have the same parent company.
I think it was Hertz. Hertz said that they were using the bankruptcy to restructure and reorganize.
Right.
So,
and they have the other companies that fall under them. And Donna, yes, I hope they do continue to clean. I mean, that's what we want.
Be awesome.
But will they? That's the concern. But the stores closing. You talk about Mace, Pier 1, but Pier 1 was already closing stores. Yes. We've talked about Sears was already closing stores.
Yeah.
Is this pushing the envelope for business? Sure.
Yeah.
I hate to see them use this as the excuse if they were already headed that way.
Yeah.
Or it's an opportunity to your point, just to reorganize again.
Right. And what's funny, because we had a delivery this morning, so we had to drive up to Clifton, New Jersey, and we drove past the American Dream Mall.
Oh.
And I said, and I was telling Ray the story about how they had just opened in maybe
and they weren't
February.
Even open 100% yet.
They weren't even fully open, and now closed. So you wonder about huge projects like that have so much money invested in them.
Well, that project was another one of those that was like never destined. It was the Xanadu project that was going to happen, that never happened.
I'll be honest with you.
Then I can't believe that actually started to happen.
It is an ugly building.
Oh, it's ugly. It's just as ugly. Actually, it might be actually a little bit prettier than I talked about this. The Arlington Ranger, the Texas Rangers baseball team, the ballpark in Arlington, Texas.
You don't like that?
The newest. No.
Oh, I don't know.
The old one is beautiful. It's that old, and it was one of the first modern day ballpark.
Kind of like a
the new one is this aluminum steel structure with this. It's gross.
Really? Yeah.
But yeah, that building's all colors because that's like the new modular look, and it's ugly. And then it's got the ski lift thing, so it doesn't even look like a big chimney.
Somebody has an idea. and they bamboozle
Design.
a couple of people that it looks good.
Bamboozled.
And the city council goes, yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Sure. And again, it's a project you want to work, because that Meadowlands area could be a mecca entertainment.
Yeah, there's a lot honestly, if you just thinking about how many things are in that area, you're right, it could be, and that could be an anchor for something like that. But I don't know. I just hope.
I'm looking forward. I want to go to the theme park, the Nickelodeon theme park inside.
Like I said,
It's gonna be very weird to go inside and ride on a roller coaster indoors. But I mean, that's what it is. It's got all these different attractions in addition to the shopping. But I don't believe, from my understanding, that shopping wise, they were at like 70% capacity.
Yeah, maybe not even 70%, but yeah.
They're filing because online. The online sales killing too. The change between online and brick and mortar, without a doubt. So this situation today has just pushed it. And online sales, there are some interesting stats right now about online sales. We're doing well. I mean, it's both,
right?
Depending on the type of stores.
Right.
There's retail stores that are doing great, and then there are some that not so much. But people are spending time in their houses, so they're spending money on
different
housewares
things,
and things to enjoy their home,
right?
Not necessarily clothing, because I mean nobody's really going out right now. So what are you buying new clothes for?
Right.
But then the markets and the food, Amazon was doing well. So it is
Amazon. I'll be honest with you. Amazon's killing a lot of smaller companies. They're just kind of gobbling them up like Pac-Man.
Sadly.
Yeah.
At the same time, small businesses who that could.
Yeah, it could bolster them, right? If you could
partner and do it right.
If they play the Amazon game, the problem is if you get involved with Amazon, it's all Amazon's rules, and they have some crazy stuff that makes it a little more difficult.
They're not as bad as Walmart.
It makes it more difficult for you to make money. Yeah. But you know what? It's either you can either sell 500,000 of this and make half what you would make if you were selling it in your store.
Sure.
So people accept that, but you got to do the volume and
the big warehouse, the big giant.
Yeah, listen, it's tough.
Good and bad. Donna, people are cooking more too, and Donna sells Pampered Chef, right?
She does. My girl.
I know you've been pumping stuff out. Are people buying more of the Pampered Chef products these days because they're at home cooking more?
Well, and you know what? I think it's probably she's. It's funny because she shares. Every time they come out with something new, she shares it and
does a
shares
demo.
The recipe, does a little demo, and I think it gives people. I know even what's happened with me is I would buy something I would not ordinarily buy.
Right.
Which I'll buy. I'm much more open to buying something experimental than I would in a normal.
Well, we have the time to actually.
Correct.
It's easy. We always see things. Oh, I love that, and then you buy it, and then what happens? It sits in the box, and you never touch it. These days, I have some gadgets that I use for the first time. I was excited. I was like, "Oh, check this out!" Even when I pulled the pizza oven out, it was a while since I've used it because I'm just not home to use these things. So it's interesting. Speaking of Donna sent me a message last night. Fox 5 covered the story of the governor telling us to go.
Yes.
Whatever, and they did a drive-by on Highland Boulevard, and we were in the video.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and she caught it and sent me a screenshot. Oh. So when I went back, I couldn't find the video.
Right.
But I'm sure if I look later on, she said the best sales for the company.
I don't doubt it.
For the last
I know
3
it's
months.
the most Pampered Chef I've bought. So, but yeah, no, I think it's and they're probably not the only one, I guess they call it cocooning. People are cocooning, and we're
not going to go to the movie, are we?
No, it's not about that cocoon. You know what? I want to watch that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
That had to be Joe brought that. Who brought that up on the show? Was it Joe? It had to be.
It was probably Joe. That sounds like something he would bring up.
So,
But yeah, it's all about home and making your home more comfortable and yeah, it's all about family right now.
so Brian is already asking about tomorrow, and that's cool. So tomorrow, our friend Ryan Mellis, he's the principal of the New Ventures Charter School, is going to join us.
That's going
tomorrow.
to be interesting.
So a little education talk, and they have several schools within the system. We host one of the classes
Yes,
here
we do.
On a regular basis, and they do some good work. So Ryan's going to join us tomorrow and talk about what's happening in the world of the charter schools and education.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a great guy. He's very excited to come on and join us tomorrow.
Well, good. Well, you like excited people. We can use a little boost. If we can use a little boost.
Oh, come on. We're always excited. I mean, I'm crazed today. I didn't really read the definition of crazed.
You're crazed and I'm overstimulated.
Driven insane, or as if insane, and you're suffering loss of emotional control. No, that's not really part of that. I mean, just crazed.
That's really funny that we both almost have the same kind of thing.
So
without looking at each other.
So yesterday, since we weren't on yesterday, we did a replay of the premiere episode,
Bill O'Neill,
with Bill, the one and only, the real deal, Bill O'Neill.
Real deal, which he doesn't.
And so at 2:00 yesterday, we did a replay, and it was cool to see some folks go on there and rewatch the episode. Maybe they didn't see it, and I was able to see people that stayed on for the whole hour to watch the show.
Okay. Yeah.
The funny part about the whole thing is, Naz and I were talking when we do it. I'm sure people are going to be commenting, and there were a couple of comments, and I looked and I'm like, this. I don't think this person realizes that we're not live right now. Like they think we're live, which I thought was funny. We had a sound issue in the opening of the first show, so I was asking. I was specifically asking Kenny Soto, "Hey, can you hear us?" And then it was 3 different people on yesterday's video that wrote, "I can hear you." So I'm making fun, but I think it's hysterical. I think it's cool. I'm just glad that you went back. You watched yesterday. We had several eyes. The other cool thing about what happened here this week, Naz, we eclipsed 100,000.
100,000. We should have a big talk about this counter. We should have that at counter.
We should have like a sign that talks about the number of views.
Make a big trophy like that big.
There you go. The trophy. Ray's gonna make us we'll make a big trophy with the number.
A sizable trophy.
No, we have a sizable trophy for our talent contest.
Speaking of which,
so Rab's Got Talent, which started here as an idea. We're launching the talent contest. We're still looking for your talent. Visit bowlatrabs.com/talent and submit your videos. We've changed the way that you upload your videos. We've extended the deadline through the end of the month, so that's coming up this week.
Yeah.
So if you didn't already, submit your video, and then we're going to open it up for voting. We've got a sizable trophy and some other prizes to give to the winner. Yes, that big, huge.
Gonna be huge.
bowlatrabs.com
/talent. I didn't know why you were looking at me. I was like, are you okay, Frank?
Oh, see, somebody finally picked up on the reference now as a sizable trophy. And of course,
somebody got it? Who got it?
It would be Ronnie Todd at BPAA.
Of course.
The Bowlopolis reference to the sizable trophy. Of course.
So,
no, it's not that nobody has talent, Kevin.
We had a problem
we have
with
lots of talent.
We had a little problem with the videos uploading. The files were too big. So,
and then we were getting truncated files, which then didn't showcase the talent. So,
right.
Several of our folks broke our chops, and so we didn't know it going in. But I got a couple of videos, no problem. So depending on the size, it depends on how you record it and then send it. So now you can send almost just about any size file.
Right.
It's just outside the form. Ideally, it's not the way we wanted to do it,
but it is what it is.
There's lots of talent, and I mean, Kevin, you certainly could submit some talent, whether it's you or your children or the bird or Skittles.
Yeah.
Skittles can certainly be a part of the talent contest. Hey, so it's our 25th anniversary.
It is
Rabs.
the big 25,
and we've been sharing some old photos, and I got one. This is an advanced file photo, a little pixelated, but it's a good one. Naz, check this out. And actually, Ray has a little hair on his head too.
Yeah,
ouch. And a mustache. I don't know what the announcement. Do you remember what this was from? It's a story. I know this is on it. It's on it.
I think it was. You know what? I honestly don't remember.
I know it's on a plaque somewhere, the article.
Yeah.
But it was something. I mean, this goes back before. This is probably this is right in the beginning. Well, the walls were painted. The masking units weren't changed yet. So this is 95, 96.
I was coloring my hair at that time.
You were?
Frank, I think they were doing an article on the place, and they took a picture of us. That's
but what they did
I don't know what the story was.
We don't know what the story was about.
So anyway, that's our old photo of the day. Naz, Ray, and good old Rabbit.
That's a thing that they did so many articles on us. We don't remember. Which one
That's a good and a bad thing. But it is true. I have to say, our friends at the Advents have always been great to us. Donna says hi. Brian says hi. Everybody was saying hello, Ray. My kids need Ray's lessons. Well, as soon as we can get back on the lanes. Speaking of,
I'm waiting for them.
We had the Joe Ambrosi, is it Ambrosi? I don't even know.
It's Ambrosi, I think.
Ambrosi. I always say it wrong. The new coach for the Wagner College women's bowling team was on early in the show, and he had announced they have a team, and so they have a team. Jessica's a part of that.
Yeah.
And they are getting ready to do a Zoom call in the next week to introduce the team and the girls, and
so they can all
get
kind
ready.
Of meet each other.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and they've been announcing the team, and so we're looking forward to seeing them get together. They've invited us to be a part of that, so it would be nice to see the girls and talk a little bit about our place.
We're excited to have them.
They're from all over the area, so I believe Jessica's the only Staten Islander.
That's the only one I saw.
And everybody else is from New Jersey and the other states. So we're excited for Wagner College to introduce women's bowling. And of course, where are they going to play? They're going to play
right here
at home. This is
very possibly right on this pair of lanes, 33 and 34.
That could be. And they're looking to host their first event here in December. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And college bowling is alive.
Best.
And well here on Staten Island. We're excited. And we hope that you'll come and watch.
I'm going to go over by Frankie because the reflection off my head is too much over there.
Yeah, it's funny, the lighting. I didn't really play too much with the lighting today, but I think it's actually better.
Seems a little better.
A little better.
You know what I tell the kids? When I was 16 years old, my hair was about as long as Nazareth's.
Yeah.
And my father said, "You're going to pay someday." You got me, Jack. You got me. So listen to your parents, everybody. Listen to your parents.
Uncle Brian, Jessica tells you nothing. Well, I get it. That's okay. So that's something exciting to hear. So we'll see. College bowling.
Yeah.
Wagner College, Staten Island. Hey, Naz, I want you to check this out. A meme of the day.
Let's see it. Bring it on.
I asked production to provide a meme of the day, and so production came through.
Could be anything.
Meme of the day. Summer 2020 gonna be lit. I have to say, this is funny. This is really funny. We have to make fun a little bit, right?
You definitely have to.
So some of these memes I don't get, like summer 2019 and summer 2020, or like they talk about they don't make any sense to me. Some of them, I just look at them going, I stare at them, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Why don't we have a contest like that to wear something like that in bowling? We have a contest. That would be awesome.
We could. That's beyond the costume contest. That's like That's like did you happen to see the? I think it was originated as a TikTok, but I could be wrong. The girls who went to go visit their grandmother, and they put all plastic bags on themselves. They wrapped themselves up in plastic to go. Their grandmother was having a hard time, and they wanted to go visit her and give her a hug. So they wrapped her up. They wrapped themselves up in plastic.
No, I didn't see that.
So they defeated the whole purpose because they themselves took the hefty bags, wrapped them all up.
So now all their disease is on the outside.
And then they went to go hug grandma.
I did see the one about the through the shower curtain.
The shower curtain.
Hugging through the shower curtain.
Well, that kind of came from the Chinese. They were but the arms and see the way they were also doing the testing that way. And we talk about here what's happening in the United States. You saw what hi Ray. You see Japan. They talk about not shutting their country down.
Yeah, and how few cases they've had.
Yeah. And you would think,
you know what? I understand. Their culture is totally different than ours.
Oh, 100%.
And even though it's a crowded country, I think that they adapt to this type of thing better. So they were probably what percentage of people already wear masks there? So you know what I'm saying? So wearing a mask, it's not that big of a deal there.
Oh yeah.
So they have early adopters
Sure.
to those things. So yeah. So I understand.
It's interesting to see how how these other countries, and then talking with Angelina and our friend, and I love her dearly, and she's going bonkers through this whole thing.
Yeah.
First of all, their son's Vinny's very creative. Did you see that they have a drive-up bar?
Yep.
They're serving food out of Angelina's kitchen. People are tailgating. They're breaking their chops a little bit.
Yes, they are.
I mean, they're not writing summons,
Yeah,
but they want people to be responsible.
Yeah.
She's chomping at the bit, and she's one. First of all, she's not. She runs her business. She's like us. She's always there,
Yes.
with everybody and running the business.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to step back, and you're seeing all of this happen around you. And then she was talking about, her daughter was getting married in Italy, and she's fighting with them to get money back. And
Right.
one of the things she was saying, there was this big cases in Italy and in Europe. She says, well, their healthcare system also is part of that problem. She says,
Absolutely.
you could go and have all these surgeries and you don't pay.
Right.
So she says, there's something to that, but at the same time, it causes these other problems. So they had this spike of cases where they shut borders down because they didn't want people leaving. And then it turned into, now where they are today, they're a little bit ahead of us, but they also had
But they started before us. That you brought it up, that is another thing that has helped Japan too, that I was reading, is their healthcare system. They had early tracing, case tracing. So they had all of that in place where we're kind of playing catch up. So, hopefully we'll be in a better spot if this was to ever happen again, where they already have these things in place in Japan, where the healthcare system is more of a, it's more under one umbrella and more united. So there's more information sharing and the contact tracing. So, they had to jump on it for sure.
Well, and we've talked about this. Donna makes a good point. They wear masks here too, but it's all it's culture. But for the most part, if they're wearing a mask, they're the ones that
they don't want
it's
to
the other
make
way
you
around.
sick. Right.
They might be sick. And then, of course, in China, the smog, like you're talking other reasons why they also wear masks, but they come here and culturally it's what they know.
Yeah.
And not to just single them out, it predominantly is the Asian community.
Right.
The only thing that maybe the next step would be us wearing umbrella hats and masks. So we
Wear
can
the
walk around
umbrella
Manhattan.
in front of your face so you don't spew your aerosol all over.
We don't want that. And so and it's all about the droplets, right? They talk about how droplets transfer, and we've shared some additional training with our staff, and we want everybody to go through as we plan to reopen. We're asking our team members to go through some training and understand COVID and how to prevent
and
hygiene,
the spread of it,
and one of the things that the CDC and World Health Organization specifically talk about now, and you've seen some of the updates, they really can't. While it does, you can pull it off surfaces.
Think you're getting it.
They can't
surfaces.
confirm today. They can't 100% say that it's not just airborne. It's from not surfaces, or it's not living on surfaces long enough. You could argue that pass through food. Is it passing through food? And they're saying they don't believe so. So, it's interesting as we move forward and progress with information. No different than anything we've gone through. The information is changing on a daily basis. Yeah. Michelle says, how many times I almost bought the umbrella hat. Sometimes they're great. I mean, I love seeing people wear them around town. It's Brian, there's some more activity in the pro shop these days. It looks like you moved some more stuff today.
Yep.
I see mannequins in the window now with no heads, so they won't freak me out. You got your apparel set up. I was telling Naz that one wall is dark and the colors on the jerseys pop really nicely.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. And so speaking of jerseys, we got proofs back and they're on their way. Our Team Gold jerseys for outfits. They look really cool.
Nice.
Nice. Sadly, I mean, we should be bowling and using them, but they're going to get their hands on them and they look really cool.
Good.
And Brian at Logo Infusion was so excited to get them in our hands.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
He was chomping at the
He's
bit
a good
because
guy.
nobody else was working, and he goes, "I have to fulfill my orders."
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, he's calling. He goes, "We're back to work. Can we send you the shirts?" And he said, "Absolutely." Yeah. So he goes, "You still want them?" I said, "Well, of course we do." I said, "We've ordered them. We're ready to roll." So, things are starting.
Yeah. Well, probably they had some
There's hope
people
there.
cancel some stuff too. So, You know,
They're also making a Bowlify also, but they're making matching masks for jerseys. Some of them are really cool.
I know a lot of them have the gator, the full one that comes down over the neck,
like a bandana type thing.
Yeah, it goes around the whole thing. Some of them are doing those.
Jimmy, what is he up to? He's still installing a door. You don't come to work for a couple of days and you wind up knocking stuff over. Oh boy.
He's probably gonna check out the bathroom. You want to go help him?
Sure.
Yeah.
I gotta go work on the bathroom.
Jimmy's been installing all the door openers.
Yes.
He's been having fun doing that for sure.
I'm sure that seems like a project
we found one. It doesn't work on Highland Boulevard. So Highland Boulevard doors.
because of the
one from outside we knew it wouldn't work because you can't
step up.
You can't step up because it's too high. But the inside door from Highland Boulevard,
there's no room.
There's no room. There's not enough room to open it, so you could actually put your foot on it and try to pull it, but then you're stuck between the door and the
then you're
wall.
behind it.
So if you really don't want to touch a door, then don't come in through Highland Boulevard. I've always had issues with touching doors, specifically bathroom doors. It's always
I always do the thing with my sleeve. Yeah, and then I have to.
But then I do that, and then it's like
now it's on my sleeve. Right.
You're better off using your hand because then you can go wash your hands after.
Yeah, well,
depending on the environment.
These are the things. Now that's why they have bathrooms now with no doors on them, which I think is awesome. Yeah. If you have the space to be able to create that.
Well, which is what we did here. I mean, we were able to do that here for multiple reasons. The only challenge here with the bathrooms, no doors. I mean, sometimes it does stink, but the air dryers, and so you always know who didn't wash their hands because if you see somebody coming out without using their hair dryer, for sure, and they're pretty powerful, which is what you want before you get on the lanes.
Those are great.
And
usually I don't like those. Usually I don't like air dryers. Because I just don't feel like they get my hands dry enough. I always grab paper towels. But that one works really good. I don't like the. Did we talk about the Dysons? I don't like the ones you put your hands in. They talk about them being hyperallergenic. But the problem is when you put it in your wrist, and depending on the size of your hand, your paws and your wrist, I always touch them. Like, well, this defeats the purpose. And the airports have them, but I've seen them start to change them. They're getting away from the Dysons. You know what my favorite is? Really good. My favorite one is the continuous paper towel. The continuous the one that's like one towel and you keep pulling. And then it gets stuck, and then you gotta touch the thing. Then you gotta then you gotta turn the dial, or that's funny. Not so much. Too funny. But Pro Shop does look nice there. So let's shape it up. Tomorrow we're gonna put the bowling balls back on the wall. Shoes probably. Accessories is gonna take a little while. Yeah, only because I haven't decided what I want to do. Poor Jimmy. Jimmy, when Jimmy comes back to work, it's everything's in the same spot. Yeah, but listen, he's gonna have to get used to it. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm patiently waiting for some paint. We need some paint. We ordered some paint to come in so we could do some touch-ups. That's been fun. You open up a can of paint and you go, oh, nope, can't use that anymore. Yeah. That's an old color. Yeah, no. Or that one, that's supposed to be that color. How did that lid get on that can? And so now you're throwing cans out and you're finding other ones. So Naz, I said it before, we might be the last one standing. We are here every day until further notice. You are fed. Your daily dose of Nazareth and I and Ray and whatever else is happening around us, depending on the day. Jimmy dropping things, Piero doing nothing. No. Jimmy must have sent Piero to go do something, and he's still doing it 10 minutes later. So Jimmy's doing the task by himself as he's probably cursing that he's waiting for something. But that's just that relationship that they have. Yeah, like a father-son kind of thing. How's the bathroom coming along? It didn't. Well, because he can't get past it. Yeah, it's fine. Well, because Jimmy's going to help us in there. Good. So I thought that's where Jimmy was going, but he wasn't. He's doing the door thing first. He's doing the doors. Okay. He just needed to take some measurements for me. But anyway, well, hey, moving on. Episode 64, tomorrow, 65. 65. Hey, Ray, how old are you?
Almost 60-something. I don't know. Because that stuff doesn't matter to me. I
67.
was born in 52. Do the
68.
arithmetic.
We're getting to your age this week.
68.
So episode 65 tomorrow, 2:00 here with Ryan Millis.
You want to see 68?
There it goes.
Which, if you're here on a daily basis, you can see that at any time.
At any time.
You skip. Don't lose your coffee.
Skipping down the concourse.
And then, of course, Thursday we're gonna have Pam Silvestri. We'll talk some food. We've got a nice week lined up, and before you know it, it'll be Sunday, and then we'll be back doing this again.
Yep.
So. When is the Wagner girls team on the? We didn't schedule. No. Oh,
we didn't say they were going to be.
We didn't schedule them to come on the show yet. They're doing a team Zoom call first.
That's what I did
to meet the girls, and then following that, we've talked with Joe about introducing them and bring them on the show. But they're not on the show at this point.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
They're doing their own team Zoom.
Right. Zoom. I mean, that Zoom, I'm just getting a workout.
Yeah.
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
And then it's Tuesday. Before we know it, it's going to be Friday, and because you can't get to Sunday without Friday. But Friday, Naz, you know what Friday is?
It's Friday.
No, it's bingo night.
The day after Thursday.
Bingo. Bingo.
So live from inside Rabs Country Lanes.
You gotta love it.
North Shore Rotary is hosting bingo night number 4, 7:00.
And you've had a whole 2 weeks to rest up. So
yes. I can't complain about
I
being
expect
tired.
to see. I expect to see the Plinko out.
Well, you want to be able to play again and win money.
Well, listen. If I just like Plinko,
you won top prizes last week.
I got.
You won the $50 cash prize on the Plinko. You won the money raffle. I mean,
I got
locked them up.
I'm expecting to go out to dinner very shortly.
Yeah,
very shortly.
Oh, you did.
So join us. Join us for bingo. SINorthShoreRotary.org /
It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
You buy bingo cards. You buy chances into the money raffle. We give away a bunch of great prizes. And those that are watching, and some of you commenting, telling us they like bingo. We have players from out of state. From all over the country and Staten Island, and we appreciate you being a part of that, and then also allowing us to help support local organizations during this time.
Which is a great cause. Joe Laverty said he was lost last Friday without bingo.
I have to say, we disappointed people by not doing bingo this past Friday. I got a decent amount of those messages.
That's all right. It's okay. You know what you do? You create that need, that want.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we wanted to do. I was a little concerned. I don't want to kill it. And I mean, some people spend a decent amount of money every week. Yeah. Some of the same people who do all those raffle pages on Facebook to win prizes and bingo. I mean, I'm on a couple of them,
right?
And every so often, I'll play.
I do that rarely. Rarely.
But I mean, you could get wrapped up into spending a lot of money on those.
Oh yeah, I could tell you somebody who could tell you all about that. It's Vicky.
Oh my God, Vicky's a junkie. And Vicky hasn't played bingo with us yet, so maybe Vicky will play bingo with us this week.
That would be nice. She just joined here. Maybe she'll play bingo.
Maybe she'll play bingo. And Ann Hastings tells us they had so much fun playing bingo.
It is fun. It really is.
So join us if you want more Frankie, and then no Nazareth. But although
you get
Nazareth, last Friday you came on the show.
I was on the show.
You came on the show
in my pajamas and
just to play Plinko.
My hair back. Yeah, well, it was fun.
Speaking of Plinko and games and game shows, we tie this together. Well, first of all, Price is Right is probably one of my favorite game shows.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Sunday, what's today?
Today's Tuesday.
Sunday night. ABC, one of them has game nights. So they had the match game.
Oh, I watched it. I watched
Match
Game. Yeah.
And so
Press Your Luck, that was a rerun.
I haven't watched it.
And I think Match Game was
But
too.
they might have been. I don't know.
No, I think it was a recent rerun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I remember last year and I was excited to watch Press Your Luck. So Sunday night we're sitting in the kitchen and living room, and so my brother and the kids are there, and it comes on. So Tommy or Fran, one of them are like, "This is dumb. Like, this is stupid." I guess they never really watched a full episode of Press Your Luck. And I like the game. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid, but I like it too.
I love how
no whammies.
They brought the old graphics in.
Yes.
So the old graphics, the whammies come on the screen. And so the first round, this lady who clearly has to be from New Jersey, big hair.
Yeah, I knew, because when I watched it Sunday night, I said, this seems familiar to me. And only because I think she had a leopard shirt on.
Oh, and her daughter, I mean, you could tell they're definitely from.
And then when she
region.
won, I said, it was definitely a rerun from recently.
But it was so stupid. They were yelling at the TV.
I watched it anyway. I watched the whole episode.
The woman, because you get to tell them what kind of you basically submit your prizes that you'd like, and then they pick from them, and she got her aggressive.
Oh, she won the share thing, right? Yeah,
dinner with Cher. I mean, she won some great prizes.
Yeah, that is a good show.
It's so stupid.
I'm not wild about what's her name as the host though.
She's all right.
Yeah,
it's not the same. But she's all right.
Yeah.
And then the match game. I like Alec Baldwin. I don't know if I like him as a host of.
Yeah. Some people. I don't know. I don't know. I think some people try too much.
Steve Harvey's a good. I have to say, I like him.
That's
Family
his favorite.
Feud. I like him as a game show host. And Wayne Brady is probably one of the best.
Yes.
Drew Carey's come a long way.
Yeah.
And I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, Wayne Brady, he's funny too.
Yeah. And
Steve
Harvey, I think, is probably
people
one of the best
on that show.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah. Oh, they come ready. They come ready to do it.
We can start a game show here. We could do that right here. We can do it right now.
Come on down. And Nazareth, what's the next item up for bids?
Yeah.
We could do we got plenty of things we could.
Yeah, we're not.
You might be onto something. So bingo is our game show. So Friday night, come and join us for bingo. And maybe we can do a game show night here on Live from Raps.
There you go.
I mean, we're here until further notice.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. That could be the next idea. Breaking news.
The breaking news. That could be the end of.
Yeah.
The end of it. Oh. Well, we hope that you will plan to join us tomorrow.
Vicky said she'll be there on Friday. She's playing bingo on Friday.
She's playing. Well, she ran out of here Friday. She left here. She worked, and then she did the antibodies test down at St. John Villa. So she came back before going there, and I said, "You going to play bingo?" She was in true Vicky fashion. She didn't know which way she was going. So, bid for bowls. I think that's what Tom was saying. Bid for bowls. We could do that. Do some. Next item up for bids, some bowling balls, that is. Yeah, I think she corrected herself. We shared that video of the tennis. That is so funny.
Oh yeah.
If you're in the same house, you can play with you can play with your balls. You can't play unless you kick them. So tomorrow, till further notice, 2 p.m. Like and share our videos. We appreciate you watching. Invite others to come and join us on a regular basis. We couldn't do it without you. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. We really do try to keep it real, and I think we really did keep it real today.
Oh, we were real today.
Well, until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
Naz.
That was awesome.
We'll see you then.
Bye.